Apologies for that. Sorry, I did see Shamil coming in as well, but I had an important call just come through. So let's carry on. Here we go. Just send him a request.
Yes, Keys, are you alright?
Hello.
You doing, mate? You alright?
Good, good. And yourself? Are
Yeah,
you
not
well?
bad. Not bad. Let me just get up my
Sorry, I was on and then an important phone call came off a vendor that I was talking to and it was just, yeah.
No, it's fine, dude. I was literally trying to have breakfast.
Breakfast? Is this breakfast?
Yeah. Right, go on. Anyway, how's
Um,
things?
yeah, so far so good. Can't complain. Business is going well.
Yeah.
It's like it's picked up a bit, especially on the investment side of things, because the investors are always cash buyers, right? They don't need finance and they don't need mortgages and all that kind of stuff. Or maybe they have their finances in place or mortgages in place. So it's good. So far, it's good. Can't complain.
Ah, it's pretty good, man. Yeah, I didn't know whether to do it on this account or my business account, the interim
Whatever is
live.
convenient, you can join me with the other one if you want.
What can
But
you do? Can you do
you
three lives? You can't, can
you
you?
can't do three lives, but you can close this one. You can come with the other
Yeah.
one. So it's up to you.
I'll probably do it halfway through.
Okay.
Or we'll do it in about 10 minutes. I want to see how much traction we've got on that account.
Cool, super. Um, Before we start, why don't you introduce yourself, who you are, what you do?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Shamil. I've got a property management company in Shortlet. That's service accommodation if you don't know where it is. I used to be a digital marketer, so I moved from marketing to property, and I'm in property now, which is what I enjoy. The end goal is to scale this business up to a level where I can eventually move off or just get staff and let them handle it, which can be done. And that's what I'm working on now. So that's like the long-term goal. And then on top of that, I'm also building a few other businesses in the property industry as well. So that's like lettings agency, probably social
Yep,
housing,
yep.
and HMOs, but I'm sticking in SA as well. So quite a few things to be fair, but everything is property related. That's
That's
probably the
that's
best.
on that's entrepreneurship, right?
Yeah, tell
That's
me
what you
about
do.
it.
You do a lot of stuff, and the whole reason to bring you on today over here is because I'm impressed the way you carry yourself and the way you're doing stuff on social media and your company and everything. It's quite commendable on that side. That I mean, I wish I was 22 and I was doing all this kind of stuff. And by the time that I am 35 right now, I'd have been on another level. But it's great. It's great to see yourself, young talent coming through in the property world, especially like yourself. It's great. Um, so just tell me something about yourself, Shamil, that, like, did you always think that you would be in property?
Oh, no, to be fair. I mean, I've always
I mean,
wanted to get into
when
it.
you were at university, when you were at college or
No,
something like that, did you ever?
so when I was at college or uni, property was not the question. I didn't even know it existed. I knew it existed, but getting into it is like no chance. I thought that you would have had to have like thousands in the bank or like millions and then to buy it. But then again, I went down a different route, which is managing and then rent to rent, and then you can get in through that way and then build it up to a level where you can afford a deposit and then get into buy to let. So
Yeah.
the goal is to get quite a few buy to lets, which I'm going to get soon. Once Corona's over and the business goes back to normal.
Yep.
But no, property's never been like the first thing, but it is on
So
court now.
what was your first thing?
So my first thing is art and design. So I went from art and design to let me see these people now. Oh, quite a few. So I went from art and design to graphics and graphics to marketing and then marketing to property. So it's quite a few things, yeah.
And during that time that you were thinking of doing arts and design, did you ever think that, you know, property is possibly the way forward for you?
No, because when I was in college, I didn't.
So the thing that I'm trying to get at is that I follow you on Instagram. I see your
Right.
life stories and I see your stuff that you do with your website, your
Yeah.
graphics and everything. And it's like, I mean, for all that stuff, I've got my marketing team.
Oh,
to do.
wicked. Wicked.
Because I am not a technology freak and I don't know graphic designing as much and all that kind of stuff. So I have a marketing team that looks after all of that. Shamil, are you still here?
Yeah, I'm still waiting
Hello?
to the.
Hello? Can you just check if you can hear me, please? Here we go. Okay.
Mate, Virgin Media is awful.
No, no, you know what it is? I think it's this time in the evening that broadbands just crash completely.
Yeah, maybe you should have done it in the evening. I mean, I'm trying to do it on Wi-Fi on mobile data, and it's still not working. I think it's just Intron playing up because even my mobile data is messing around, which is normally the fastest.
Because I think a lot of people sitting at home are doing these live sessions,
Oh
so
no,
it's one of
I've
those
got
things.
I've got quite a few planned next week at 7 o'clock.
Yeah,
So
I saw your live story. So 7 p.m.
yeah, 7 p.m. So hopefully it goes well. Fingers crossed.
Good, good.
Yeah.
I mean, I tend to keep my live sessions like I've got one right now, and then I've got one at 7 o'clock. So it should be good. So yeah, coming back to yourself. So art and design, did that? I mean, right now that you're doing property, okay, I'm just talking about the graphic world right now.
Yeah, yeah.
Does that really help you in terms of getting what you want
Oh,
from
mate, massively, yeah. Sweet.
yeah,
So even my logo and like the branding and then the social posts, I do it all myself.
you don't hire
I can
anyone else?
obviously outsource it,
Yeah.
but I prefer to do it myself because I know I do it to a level that I like. And if I give it to
I
someone
mean, the
else,
amount of things that you do your marketing yourself, you do your
yeah,
DIY yourself, you
everything,
rent the
yeah.
property yourself. I mean, what is it that you don't do?
I don't know, mate. Accounting, I hate that shit. Yeah,
But
I still,
for accounts, you need someone to do that for you, right? You can't really
yeah,
do it
yeah. I've
on
got
your own.
someone,
So.
but I hate it. Yeah. But yeah, I literally do all the marketing, the website, the graphics myself. It's just easier, I think so. I mean, once obviously I was quite big, where I've got like a team of like 5, 10. I'm probably outsourced, but at the moment, I don't. You don't need to outsource. It's manageable.
Just to let the viewers know that if you have any questions regarding serviced accommodation or short let accommodation, do put your questions in the comments so that Shamil can answer them because I think we've got a few viewers here who want to start their short serviced accommodation process. So let's see. Anyways,
Orders,
the
orders.
the hot topic that I want to ask you right now is how are you moving forward during these times of
Um, yeah, I'll
coronavirus?
keep that one. I'll keep.
Keep playing. I do that sometimes, but yeah.
I'll keep that one. Yeah, so the way we're adapting it is I'm focusing more on the expansion plan now. So because business is down, there's not much I can do. Even if I push loads of marketing, there's still nothing going to come in. Especially my industry, which is short lets. We work on the travel industry, and the travel industry's gone dead really. So what I'm actually doing is working on my plans to expand the business into other cities. So when things do go back to normal, I'm already there. So when people start calling and ringing and looking for like a managing company or an SA person, I'm already there. They
I
can
was
ring
just
me up.
checking your live story yesterday, and you mentioned that you want to expand to 25 cities in the
Yeah,
UK.
I mean, it's a big goal.
We have 25 cities in the UK, right?
Do we? No, no,
Oh,
no, no, no. We've got more
you're
than
talking
that.
worldwide.
No, no. I'm talking cities within the UK,
Okay, cool.
like
That's it.
each, like Liverpool, Manchester, like all them little places.
Yep.
So there's obviously more than 30, but I've capped it off 25 because I think what I'm looking at now is my board. I've got a board on the wall, and within that board, I've got
You've
all the
got a map.
cities. I would show you, but I'll show you later. But hang on, let me see if I can get a photo on my iPad. Hold on. So this is my little board that's on my wall. Can
Wow.
you see?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've got that on the wall, and on that board, I've got all my cities that I want to expand to. So I'm going to try and cap it off at 25, but these are all the cities that I researched that are doing very, very well. And the income level on them is very, very good. So if I had 15 properties in each city, so just to do the maths, if I had 15,
15 properties, you mean?
yeah. So as a managing company, I make money off managing properties, but I
Yep.
can also do rent to rent, which is my own essays in them cities, which is what I'm going to do. So, for example, if I had 15 properties in each city, times by 25 cities, that's 375 properties in total, if I had that plan. Now, on average, normally between each property, we make about £300, which is a monthly management fee. So 300 times 375, I should make 122. Well,
112.
yeah, £112,000 a month. You times that by 12, and then it's like almost like 1.3,
Millionaire.
which is easily possible. And it's a millionaire company, and it is possible. But I just need see what I'm doing now in Birmingham. I need to do that in every other city. So
Cool.
once I do that, I'll be at millions.
So we've got a question here by Latoyan. How did you source your first day? How did you source your first essay? Sorry, apologies.
Oh, essay. Oh, sweet. So my first essay. So when I started essay in property, I didn't start through the normal route like everyone else. So everyone else would just go straight into finding a property. I didn't do it. I did it the other way, which is I built a management company, and I ranked my site on Google for Airbnb management Birmingham. And let me take this filter off. It's quite annoying. You go back to normal. So I ranked my business to first page, within the top 5, and then I had a call from my landlord.
Can I stop you there for a second?
Go.
What did you do to rank yourself on #1 in Google?
Yes, I mean, it's pretty easy for me. It's probably going to be hard for everyone else, but there's a lot of keywords. There's a lot of alt text and tags you need to write. So when you do search it, it comes up. Let me try and show you what I mean. So, one example is guaranteed rent Birmingham.
Yep.
I don't know if you can see it, but can you see
Yep,
on your screen, or
sort
is
of.
it the other way
Sort
around?
of, yeah. It's okay.
But anyway, for guaranteed rent Birmingham, I ranked first.
Yep.
Literally there.
Yep.
Obviously, you don't count these because these are maps, but I ranked first,
Yep.
which is there. And the way I've done that is, if you go onto the page, which I'll show you now. So, so you've got guaranteed rent there. So I've mentioned the word guaranteed rent at least like 15 to 20 times at least on that page, or like 15 times.
Gotcha.
And then on top of that, the content on the page, it makes sense. It's not just guaranteed rent, guaranteed rent, guaranteed rent. It's worded in a way that it makes sense to the user.
That it comes to. Yep. Okay. Gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
Fine.
So anyway, going back to how I got the essay. So the landlord rang saying said he wants to do short lets. He wants to try it out rather than doing a single let. So I was like, sweet. So I took his property on board really. So I learned all the mistakes and made all the things that will normally go wrong with his property, and then I got my second one just by someone that I know, and it was like sweet. But now on the way I got my recent property, which is the grey apartment, was the landlord found me on Google for guaranteed rent, and originally he wanted I think he wanted me to manage it at first. So at first he wanted me to manage it, and then halfway through the conversation, he was like, "You know what?
This is the one where you were doing all the stickering and you put the grass.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
that apartment was like really shabby. So when we took it on, he originally wanted me to manage it, and then when I told him that
I saw your before and afters for that.
So when I told him that you'll need to spend money on it to make it look a bit more homely, and he was like, nah. So then he was like, you know what, can you rent it from me instead? I was like, yes, sweet. So the way I got my recent one was through my site again. I think in the future, I probably will get them from my guaranteed rents page, or I'll just ring up agents, so the normal way that everyone else gets it. What I have found with agencies, the small agents work better because they're more likely to like let you have the property rather than the big boys.
But don't you think it comes down to the landlord accepting that rather than the agents giving it to you?
I mean, if you can provide the guaranteed rent, no, what landlord's
What's
going to say no?
what that you provide for a guaranteed rent?
So personally, with the one that I've got, it's just a normal like company let agreement, and it's just the rent's guaranteed on whatever month. So if it's the first or the 15th, it's literally any normal contract. But we call it a guaranteed rent because we are essentially guaranteeing the rents. So
But
that's
then
what.
backed by what
Oh,
exactly?
so yeah, so the way it works is no matter what happens, you still pay the rent. So if you don't get any bookings for that month, or your bookings are low, you still pay the rent.
But if you can't pay it, then what?
Well, then that's a breach of the contract. So that's the whole thing with this game is that you need to make sure that you can at least afford it, or you make sure you've got enough in the cash reserve.
No, I totally get that. But over here, let's say in London, for example, if someone comes up and says, I'm going to pay you guaranteed rent, the first question that the landlord or myself I would ask him is, what are you backing yourself with? What's the backing? At least you should have something in the bank account or something like that that makes you say that you're going to guarantee your rent. Otherwise, what I'm trying to say is, even if a normal tenant walks in and says, okay, I'm going to rent the property, and they say, yes, okay, they do all their credit checks and all that kind of stuff, and it's guaranteed, right? It's guaranteed. The tenant's living there is guaranteed rent. But then if the tenant loses their job, what then? There is no backing for the guarantee that you're giving.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm not
it's
putting you
more.
in a corner. I'm not
No,
trying to
it's
put you in a
more of
corner.
a
I'm trying to
fluid term, to
understand.
be fair. I personally think it's a fluid term. I don't think the word guaranteed rent necessarily means guaranteed. I think because in the property world it's labelled as you'll get it no matter what. It's there, and it's a term that people use, and it's a term that landlords understand.
Yeah.
And when you're trying to pitch it as a company doing an essay, you use the word guaranteed rent, and it works, and it's worked for me.
Okay. Gotcha.
Better than it's I think because you're a company and not a tenant, it kind of makes it a bit more better, because if you've really got the experience or got properties, you can just say I've really got properties. You can have a look at my portfolio, blah blah.
How many properties do you have in your portfolio currently?
Yeah, so basically we used to have 9. We lost 4
Four
since
because of
Corona.
all this stuff that's going on.
Yeah, bollocks. And then we lost probably half the clients. So I've got 5 left now. And
And
as I
those
said,
are those are tenanted?
yeah, about 3 of them are, no, actually 4 of them are, one's empty. But people book last minute with what's going on now within the Corona shit. So I'm not too fussed, to be fair, but I'm not too excited. So when I get a booking, I'm not really fussed, to be fair, because I know that we're never going to make more than enough money than we was when it was
I
before.
mean, I must say that you are possibly just one guy out there that actually puts his numbers out, what he's made and what the expenses were and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Normally, I don't have the cheek to put that, man. Like if I
Oh
put that
shit.
on, can you
Oh,
just
it's bad.
imagine like the amount of people that would start asking you questions and everything? Forget it. But it's good that you're pretty daring in that way, that you go out and you put your numbers on the line, and people see what you're doing. Um, just one of the questions that I wanted to ask you about. I saw your life story about you providing the short let accommodation to the NHS staff.
Right.
How did you come about doing that? What did
Uh,
you?
I mean, it was just like a random idea. It was just for. because when the whole Corona thing
And
came,
was this accommodation provided for free, or no? NHS gave you something like rent for the properties that they were renting?
no, the NHS are tight as hell. They're literally so tight. You see,
Because I heard in London, they were paying around £150 per tenant.
that's mad. Yeah, and the NHS have not paid a single penny. They are so tight. Like, I seen this girl's story the other week, and I asked her, how the hell did you manage to afford this like, apartment? Because she was in like this top grade luxury apartment, and it was like it cost like quite a lot of money. And she was like, the NHS paid for it. I was like, what? The NHS? I was like, that don't make any sense. You got people like us providing good accommodation, and they don't want to pay for us, but they'll pay for like 5-star hotels, like the nurses. I was like, what the hell's going on? It's really, really weird, to be fair. Yeah, it's very weird. But
I mean, but why
no,
would you give? I mean, how would you tend to make a revenue if you were okay? There's one
you
thing
wouldn't,
being
you
a
wouldn't,
good
you
person
wouldn't,
and giving it for free, but then how do you make a living out of that?
you wouldn't see.
Because you
So, go on. No, you wouldn't. So the whole point of
sorry,
doing it was because because I knew that we weren't going to get any bookings for the next 2-3 weeks. So instead of them being empty, I thought, why not give them out? And if they can cover the bills, it's happy days. So that's what I did. And most of the
but have they
staff,
left now? But since then, or they're still
one's
there?
one's still there. The other one's left, and the one that's there now is staying there for the next 2 months. So it's quite good, really. And they've got
And
their
they're not paying anything.
no, there's no rent, just the bills, which is normal. You know, you can't expect us to pay the bills as well. And that's
And
what
then
the landlord said. So
what do you say to the landlord who you've
no, I asked him first, and he's like, that's fine.
okay, so he's fine with not getting the rent then.
Yeah, obviously I had to ask the landlord and say, would you be open to, you know, I told him that we're not going to get any bookings for the next 2-3 months. You know, we can only house key workers and staff. You know, I don't see this changing. So would you be comfortable with, hosting and then staff, and if they can cover the bills, it'd be good for you. So he's like, yeah, that's fine. So I mean, that's what we did.
That's absolutely amazing for the landlord to come
Yeah,
out and say that, it
yeah, it's
makes
pretty
sense.
cool.
We had a question here by Harry Jav. How would you approach landlords or find accommodation that could potentially be serviced accommodation or short let properties? Newbie to this all. So
Hang
please
on,
go.
let me find the question.
It's quite way up.
I found it. Yeah, how would
Yeah,
you approach
Harry Jav.
landlords or find accommodation potentially? Yes. So, um, oh, that's a very good question.
Yep. So
See, it's easy.
this is where you have to provide knowledge.
Yeah, see, it's easy for me because once you've got like the portfolio and the pictures and the images and the site, you can just go on the site and check it. You know, check all my stuff.
But what do you do if you don't have all of that?
Yeah, what you do if you don't? What I would personally do is try and do a JV with someone. Try and do a JV with someone who's either got one in the bag or getting one, or can easily get one.
So
You know,
are you pitching right now to do a JV with someone? So if Harry
I'm
Jab
not
wants,
pitching. I'm not pitching. I've got enough money. I want to do it myself, man. No, but what I am saying is that if you do a JV,
no. I wasn't pitching. I wasn't saying that you're pitching it the right way. But if someone wanted your help in doing the JV,
yeah,
would you come along and say that, okay, I will go ahead on this with you? Would you do that
I mean,
to help them out for the first property
yeah,
at
it
least?
depends on the area. Like literally, it's area based and property based. If the area is good, I'll be
So
interested.
Harry Jab, if you're still here and you're still listening,
Yeah,
contact
man,
Shamil and
definitely.
he will look
Um,
into that for you. Also, that was the same question from Latoyan.
yeah,
So
same with
do
Harry.
contact Shamil and he will look into possibly doing a JV, but do find him the right area and the right property, or otherwise he's going to say no to
Obviously,
it.
what I would say to that is either do a JV with someone, or if you don't want to do a JV, the only option is just trying to find desperate landlords or landlords who are just going to say yes. So keep
But
them.
desperate landlords would be those, right, who don't look after their properties and they're just tips,
Yeah,
really.
but when it comes to tips, it depends on the kind of tip it is. If it's an average looking property and all you need to do is put new flooring into it or just give it a new lick of paint, then that's fine. If if it's one with a sink, so like from the 1980s and like it's battered, then no, you probably wouldn't. But again, try these small agents because they'll be more open to that doing rather than the big boys like Canals or where the big ones are. Yeah,
That's really great information.
yeah.
Another question we have here from Alfred. What does the bottom line meaning net profit, look like with a 1.4 million revenue company?
Wait.
I get
I'm
Alfred Tizadi.
I'm trying to find the
He's just after the questions from Harry Jav.
bottom line. Well, that all that is profit. So all that 1.3 is profit because the only thing we've taken out of that is any staff fees, or staff pay
So this is
and
where we
software
went, right?
costs.
You calculated the 300 pounds, the management fee.
Yeah.
So
So
that
look, I'll do
300
it again.
pounds. Okay, go ahead.
So obviously, £300 is on average what we normally make. If the property is bigger, you'll make more money. If the property makes more money, you make more money. So you could make £1,000, but I'm doing 300 as an average. So, and obviously, like I said, if I was to expand to 25 cities, it'd be 375 properties. So that's how much I would make a month, right?
Yep.
And then from that, essentially, what I would probably pay myself like £3,000, and minus staff. So if I had about a team of, let's say staff's another 10 grand, right? And I've still got 99 grand left. Now the software might be 2 grand. It probably won't be, but I'm saying 2 grand. You still got 97k left, which is
Yep.
profit. I don't see any other fees. Like there's no other fees involved in property management because the only fees you've got is software and the staff. Everything else is profit because you don't really pay anything out because the properties you don't rent because you manage it. So it's profit. So times
So
that
the
by 12.
1.4 million you're saying would 1.170 would be the
Yeah.
absolute net profit that you're getting in.
Yeah. Literally, the only thing I'd cut out is staff and software. But even if I did that again, what is it called? 300 times 30, 375 times 12. Now, let's say my yearly salary was 100 grams, right?
Yep.
There you go. Now, I'm paying 5 staff members 25 grand each.
Yep.
So minus 25 grand, minus 25 grand, minus 25 grand, minus 25 grand, minus 25. You can still see I'm still in lots of money. I've still got enough money.
You're still in seven figures.
Yeah, I'm more than 7 figures. I've still got enough money there. And even if the software was, 15 grand a year, which you never would 15 grand, but I've still
Is
got a
there
million in the bank.
is there a software you're using right now, or no? You're just
Yeah. So we use the software to manage the properties, but the software is very, very cheap for what it is, and it does a brilliant job.
Can you
So,
say which software you're using?
so it's called Uplisting. It's a property channel manager. If you send me a message, I'll send you the link. But the point is that if I scale to 25 cities, and if I had 5 to 10 staff members, I'll still make £1 million a year. Like,
Super.
and there's no other like bills or anything because there's no rent for me. There's nothing else. Like all the cleaning gets paid by the property and the booking itself. So it's quite a good business model in terms of scaling up really.
Guys, if you're looking for a serviced accommodation business model, wherever it may be, the business model is the same and can work in any city that you may be in. So do contact Shamil and he will help you out. We've got a question here by Mo Mello saying, what are you doing with your properties?
So at the moment with my properties,
And what he mentioned is, are you still paying full rent on all empty properties?
no. So regarding my properties, good thing is that most of my landlords are cool. So I've just sent them an email saying what's going on, and sent them a letter from the NLA saying that what's going on with the rent, and we can have a 3 month break period.
Has the government come back saying something about the rents or not yet?
You mean the councils? If we've got all the councils talking crap about the loans and like the bollocks, but I'm not too fussed. I'm going to wait for my accountant to like send me a message to see if I can apply for anything. I might apply for the loan and then use that loan to invest more.
We got a news yesterday about a small loan, right? Without the banks making any kind of
Yeah,
uh
interest-free loan.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
If
I
you pay
didn't.
that off,
Yeah, I didn't
in a
watch it,
year.
but I heard about it on Facebook. Yeah, I'm probably going to get that. Yeah, but what I'm doing with my properties at the moment is most of them are filled, so literally 90% of them are filled. The ones that are empty, I'm just going to wait for bookings. We're not paying rent, and the restaurant management. So I haven't got any bills coming now apart from the actual solid bills like Wi-Fi, electric heating, and that's about it really. So there's no rent, and
Did you
because
rent that one that you painted with the fancy colors and
yeah.
everything?
So
It's rented.
so that's the one that we're renting, but we're not paying rent because I told them, dude, we're not getting enough bookings to be able to afford it all. But the good thing is we've got an NHS staff member in there for now, which is in there for like quite a long time. So that's kind of covered our backs
Cool.
to break
We've got
even.
the
Alf,
ordinary landlord.
Alfred,
Sorry.
go on, yeah, just looking down.
No, it was just saying it's called the bounce
Ah.
back loan for 12 months, interest free.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get national. Oh yeah, the national insurance contributions. Even if I was to pay all like the council and the fucking tax, still got enough money. Still got enough money left. Yeah, still got enough money.
But it's good to know how you're doing it during these times, especially because when I just before the lockdown, I had 3 deals that were going to be taken by short-let accommodation providers.
Right,
And that was on the back of they already took 2 blocks from me, which they are currently renting out. That's fine. But they were taking another 2 blocks and another apartment from me, and they just
hang
canceled
on, I'm
that.
just gonna get this.
Yeah, sure, go ahead. They actually canceled that because of all this that's going on in the market. But do you see it? Do you see the changes in the booking right now? Like, do you see bookings going up slightly? Is there some movement in the market?
Yeah,
Hello, can you hear me?
yeah. So regarding bookings, I mean, like it is crap. Literally, Airbnb calendars are blocked. Booking.com calendars are blocked. We can only accept bookings from like key workers, or we can do it direct by taking
And
direct.
these key workers are possibly finding you on Google, right? They're not going through any Booking.com portal or Airbnb portal
A
or anything
few.
like that.
So the one that we managed to get in the new
Hello?
apartment, they saw us on Booking.com, but they couldn't book it because the calendars are blocked. So because on the listing I had a photo of like our brand name, they just Googled the name and called us direct, and then just converted it to a direct booking. I did a little trick where you can have like an image. So let me see if I can find it.
So would you recommend that people put their logos on each picture that they put
Yeah,
out?
definitely, because it literally has worked. So let me try and find the image.
And all these tricks that you've learned so far, they've all been your university tricks. Did you learn them at uni or
No,
you've
so
just
all these little tricks I've just been learning as I go. Again, like I haven't paid for any sort of course or anything. I've just been picking things up as I've been going along.
so do you do a
I've
lot do you put in a lot of research hours before you put something together?
I mean, it depends on what you're talking about. When it comes to expanding areas, yeah. So I am researching each area
No,
before I.
something like using your pictures and using the SEO and all that kind of stuff. Do you
Oh yeah,
actually?
obviously when you do SEO, you need to research. But this is what I've done, but basically, so I've stuck a little piece of card on the table when I photographed it. So when they're swiping on the photos, they can see that I can call it, and it says book direct with this, save 10%, and it's worked.
And this is on the Booking.com portals and the Airbnb portals that you can put it this way.
So it's just like a normal image. So it's just a normal photo, but
And Airbnb have not picked up on this.
no, they haven't, because it's kind of like a sly move, because it's
That's
but what I have done on the new listing is I put the company branding in the bottom corners of the images. So I didn't do it previously, but from now on, from every property that comes on board, in the corners are going to be the branding, like the logo and the website link, because you can book direct on the link. It's kind of cool, because when they search
and
for
they
you,
and they save money on the commission. You save money on the commission, so it's pretty good.
it's less commission. It's pretty good though. Yeah.
Just a quick question about the portals. I mean, obviously, Booking.com and Airbnb are one of the, I mean, Expedia as well, I guess, in that. But do a lot of people in the UK use Expedia, or is it only Booking.com and Airbnb?
No, I'm not too sure. I haven't really used Expedia. I've used VRBO, HomeWay. HomeWay is pretty good. But mostly mine are from Booking.com. So that's where I get most of my bookings from. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to my business account. So if you stay here,
Yeah,
I'm going to
sure.
switch to that. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Well, we just have to wait for Shamil to come back on with his company account. It's good some people have their personal and company accounts on here. I mean, I don't really like to have personal and company accounts. I just keep it one, so it keeps on going like the same. I've got it on Facebook. The only one that I have as a company, I would say, is on LinkedIn, where I have my own profile and my company profile. But then again, I mostly post with my sorry, I was just talking about having two profiles on
Company
Instagram.
accounts. Yeah. I mean, I've tried and keep it both separate, but what I've started to do is use a bit more personal brand now, especially in the personal account. I need to.
I mean, I always thought the same thing as well, to have a company account, but then I was like, yeah, it's all people already know me as VTH Properties for so long, and it
Yeah, I
doesn't
think
make
it's
sense
because that
to,
name you've got.
yeah,
It's just a company name, whereas
yeah,
mine's like it's two separate entities.
yeah.
So, yeah.
But let's see. So we were talking about the portals, Expedia. You were saying
Yeah.
how does that? I mean, my question was that are Booking.com and Airbnb the top two portals in the UK that people use, or worldwide also?
Yeah, definitely. So Booking.com, Airbnb, HomeWay is my top three. Obviously, there's a lot more, there's hundreds and hundreds, but
And what are the subscription fee or commissions that you pay these guys?
so I think for Airbnb it's 3%, which is very good. And then I think if you switch packages, it's whatever. For Booking.com, it's 16.3 or 16.6. The reason why it's
Percent?
16, reason why it's that is because it's normally 15, but
Wow.
because we let them take our bookings,
Yeah.
like the payments. So we don't use our own payment processor because it's less hassle. So Booking.com charged like 1.6 for that as a like transaction fee.
Some people who may have joined here do not know, possibly in market terms, how Booking.com and Airbnb stand. So would you say that Booking.com is like the Google, or would you say Airbnb is the Google?
Hang on, I'm just typing a message.
Sure.
Alright, cool. So I mean, regarding that, I'd say Booking.com stronger, way stronger.
You think?
Yes, Mr. Sunny.
Because because Airbnb, they only do apartments, right? They don't do hotels, do they?
No. Yeah. So the thing with Airbnb is that hotels don't tend to list on Airbnb. I have seen a few apart hotels doing it, probably because of the reach.
Like serviced apartments kind of thing.
Yes, like Stay City, they
Yep,
have
yep.
started to list on Airbnb because I've seen it myself.
Your competitors.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So they've started to list on there, but Booking.com's probably the best. I really like it because you're more in control of the guest. Because when it comes to Airbnb, you can't take security deposits because if you do, it's a violation of their rules. So if you was to take a deposit outside of the platform, you can get done. You can get your account terminated.
So Airbnb is mostly customer oriented, you mean?
Yeah, way like literally
Something like
1000%.
Amazon.
Yeah, so if you was to damage like I don't know if a guest was to damage your apartment on Airbnb, then you have to create like a resolution or create a report and then file it and then it's 24 hours you have to wait and it's just effort. Whereas with Booking.com you can collect a deposit, you can collect the ID, which you can do anyway, and then if they damage it, you can either report them, keep the deposit or charge whatever to the card. So you're more in control than Airbnb. That's what I found. I personally try not to use Airbnb. I try to use Booking.com more, which is what I found. But most people prefer Airbnb. I don't. So
I mean, in terms of myself, in terms of finding apartments or houses, I might look at Airbnb, but in terms of finding hotels, I would always go to booking.com.
yeah, same.
It's
Like
it's 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 one of those things that I have in my, it's like people are set in their brains that we're going to use this only. Like
yeah,
when it
so
comes
like
to when it comes to buying online, like all these goods and stuff, I'll always use Amazon because I've got that in my mind that eBay has always been an auction website. So, it just stops me from going to eBay, whereas eBay has now also started the same thing as Amazon. So, one final question that I have for you myself is I see you expanding in 25 cities. Where does
yeah.
London stand there?
Do you want to know what the funny thing is?
Don't tell me you've not put London there.
No,
No way.
London is not on the map. I'm literally looking on the board. London is not on my list of cities where I want to expand to. I'm being
Oh
serious
my
with that.
God.
It's not.
Wow. Wow.
It's not.
I mean, normally people look at London as maybe not their first spot, but at least maybe the top three spots that they want to
Right.
expand into. But it's good to know that. So what are your top three then?
I mean, I won't give a top three. I give one that I'm doing that people already know. So I am doing Nottingham next. So Nottingham's the next city, which is I've already built the page and it's live, and I'm already ranking for Nottingham Airbnb management, which is good.
Have you had any properties? Have you had any landlords call you up yet?
No, really, I've literally just put it live like 2 days ago, like a day ago.
Okay.
So it's
And
fresh out
and
the
it
boat.
and it, and it takes about 2-3 days for people to start
No, so
noticing.
normally when it comes to ranking, like proper ranking, takes like a couple of months,
We've got someone pitching cleaning services to yourself.
Oh, let's see. How you look for cleaners? What area? Learn with me. What area? What area? Depends on what area. Birmingham's sorted. If you can do any other city, I'll take it.
So yes, please. What is short letting? Short letting HY29
Yeah. So
is.
in
Please go ahead.
short, in my personal definition of short letting is basically Airbnb. So it's where you take a property and you don't put it on a single let, you put it on a short let. So you list it on Airbnb, Booking.com, and you make your income from the bookings rather than the tenants. So there's no tenants in short letting. It's just like guests. So the
Yes,
tenants are replaced
absolutely.
with guests. Yeah,
Yep.
that's the short definition. Yeah.
Um, but that's where I'll stop this live session now. And I
Sweet.
think I think we should do this again because there are people there that want to learn this business, especially that once this lockdown is over, people are going to come out of all what they're doing and they're going to start looking at short let accommodation
Yeah,
providing.
sure.
So we should do this again. Look, guys, if you have any questions regarding short-let accommodation, serviced accommodation, do contact Shamil on his personal ID or his business ID, which is Pilot My Property, and speak to him. I'm sure he'll be able to help you about any information that you need to start your business, or if you're coming across any trouble during your business. He is pretty clued on what he's
Yeah,
doing.
man.
At least that's my
Anyway,
take on it,
I just
because
want to
because
answer that
that's what I see.
last question, which is,
Yep.
do you own these properties? We don't own them. I probably will own them soon in the future. What we're doing is we're renting from the landlord and we're managing as well. So there's two different routes. Yeah,
And I
we don't
wish you
own.
all the best that you own your property very soon.
Oh, sweet, man. I'll speak to you soon.
Absolutely.
All right, geez. I'll see you
Shamil,
later.
thank you so much. Thanks for joining me, and take care. Cool. That was Shamil from Pilot My Property, who has got a pretty good serviced accommodation providing business up in Birmingham, and he's going to be expanding into the next 25 cities that he's got on his board. So, if you have any questions, if you want to increase your knowledge on serviced accommodation, do contact him. And if you have any property inquiries in London or the UK, buying, selling, renting London wise, but buying and selling investments, anything like that, get in touch with BTH Properties and I will make sure that I help you and advise you on that. So thank you so much to all those that have tuned in. I've got another session in the next half an hour with the best-selling author of the New York Times. Do join me in and ask any questions that you may have. So thank you so much. Have a great day, guys. See you soon. Bye bye.